Now on Fox 14, it's Maple Leaf season, and this year's chicken pageant had owners and their feathered friends strutting their stuff. Plus, also happening at the Maple Leaf Festival, dachshunds racing for glory. And after devastating tornadoes earlier this year, one man is feeding hundreds and providing essential supplies to help his community recover.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News on Fox 14. I'm Anthony Saviello. A bomb threat in Barton County forces a Walmart to close for several hours this afternoon. Early in the afternoon, a bomb threat regarding the Walmart in Lamar, Missouri was called in. The Barton County Sheriff's Department tells us the Joplin Airport K-9 was called in to assist authorities with clearing the building. We are also told that the Missouri State Highway Patrol bomb squad was on standby but was later disregarded after the building was deemed all clear at around 5:30 p.m. this evening. Those with any information regarding this threat are asked to contact the Lamar Police Department. Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a first look at weather.
Tonight, temperature is getting down to the mid-60s, only hitting about 65, 66. Overall, pretty warm night. We also have some scattered shower chances that are going to be moving through tonight and into Monday morning. So you can see where we jump. We go to scattered shower chances, rain chances. For a lot of us, we're going to see quite a bit of rain accumulation too through the morning hours. By 8 a.m. we're still seeing some scattered shower chances. It starts to dwindle by early afternoon, then completely clears out by late afternoon into Tuesday morning. So taking a look at our current radar, we've got a few showers north of Nevada moving along I-49, a few more moving into our western counties. We've got a lot more showers to go, continuing to pushing in through Oklahoma. A lot of this going to be really hitting us by 8 a.m. on Monday, 7 to 8 a.m. And a lot of us are going to be dealing with a lot of rain during our commute. Miami, Joplin, even up to Pittsburgh, Nevada. We're going to want to watch out for that through Monday morning, but I'm going to have a full look at the forecast coming up.
Lindsay, thanks. Well, it's Maple Leaf season at Parsons, and that comes with the annual dachshund races in Central Park. The races work by putting the dogs in a box, letting them loose, and whoever crosses the finish line first wins. Of course, it's getting across the finish line that's the task, as you can see by our four-legged friends there on screen. The winners of the race get to be deemed the best wiener dog out of everyone in Parsons. All proceeds from the event went to the Carthage Humane Society. Also happening at the Maple Leaf Festival was the tradition of the chicken pageant, and we're not joking, in which owners dressed up in costumes along with their chicken in order to get judged. This year's pageant was emceed by our very own Blake Gully. The chickens were judged by the crowd, and the chicken who won was determined by how loud the crowd got. Winners received a blue ribbon chicken scratch and a flock box.
I just like how they dress them up and how the kids just show how much their chickens are pets and something that belongs to them personally, rather than it just being a chicken for eggs. So there's a kind of a connection that the people like with their chickens.
Some iconic costumes that showed up were a bull and cow, because what's more clever than that, and Limu, Emu, and Doug. Well, in St. Louis, Missouri, some people are still without power, a safe place to live, and other necessities after a tornado hit back in May. Immediately after, nonprofits stepped up to meet the needs of victims. Now that help is starting to wind down. But all hope is not lost for those who still need help. As Elena Chappie reports, one man is making it his mission to make sure his community is taken care of.
In the heart of the tornado path,
the need is still great.
It's easy to see the destruction that remains. But just beyond the damage, a sign of love lingers.
This is what God put in my hands, you know.
Since May 17th, Larry Gray has been here at the corner of Newscast and Ashland.
In the beginning, my plan was just to feed, a couple of my immediate neighbors.
But it turned into something bigger.
Feed not just 1, 3, 4, 5 people. We feed like 100 people a day.
Beyond the food, Larry offers a spot to sit, a bag full of hygiene products,
soap,
and an overflowing storage unit filled with the necessities the community may need.
I've got a guy supposed to be coming today to help me build some shelves to kind of get, more space in here.
For Linzel Baker,
Long Larry had this, I'm gonna be by his side.
he volunteers with Larry every day.
I was out here like this once upon a time, and I know how it is to be without anything.
And as winter approaches,
A lot of them out here ain't got no blankets, no coats, no shoes, so that's basically what we need, clothing for kids and grown people.
the plan is for this corner to be open, even in the coldest months.
I'm gonna close it off. I'm gonna add another table, a few more chairs, so when I serve the people, they can sit down in the warmth.
So for Larry, it's easy to give back to his neighbors when the community continues to give to him.
As long as the people keep bringing the stuff for me to keep doing what I'm doing, I'll keep doing it. Don't look like that's gonna stop anytime soon.
Well, some new news for Missouri hunters and fishers. When you buy your Missouri hunting or fishing permits, you could see a price increase. The changes start in January. Firearm deer hunting, fishing, fall turkey hunting, and spring turkey hunting licenses will all increase for residents. However, the biggest hikes are for non-residents. Firearm deer permits and archery permits for those folks will increase to more than $300, up from $288. The Missouri Department of Conservation says the additional money will help with the maintenance and improvement of its work and properties in the state. Still ahead on KOAM News, expecting parents may be turning to a surprising option for pain relief during labor. Nitrous oxide, known as laughing gas, is a staple when it comes to visiting the dentist. But now Mercy Springfield is offering it to help women delivering babies. Chris Bryant spoke with the first patient to use the new treatment about her experience through delivery.
I believe 18 hours of labor. Yes.
Being induced at 37 weeks due to necessity, Kelsey Wheeler knew she wanted to have a natural childbirth.
When I was induced, getting on Pitocin, I was like, this could be much harder, as Pitocin contractions are kind of wild.
Wheeler became the first patient at Mercy to use a nitrous oxide mixture for labor and delivery.
Once they broke my water and I started on that, I wanted to keep my goal of not having an epidural or IV pain medication. Yeah, I know.
It is administered by the patient, meaning they inhale the mixture as needed, usually as contractions are starting and throughout the duration of the contractions.
But very few people can't use nitrous. There's not a lot of contraindications with it.
It doesn't fully relieve the pain, but allows patients to manage labor pain while experiencing no adverse side effects to the baby, like little Gillian, who is now 8 weeks old.
It was as good as it can be, and my team here was fantastic, and I was exactly what I wanted to do with my delivery, and the nitrous really helped me be able to do that.
According to the American Society of Anesthesiologists, nitrous oxide is more commonly used in Australia and Europe, but has been gaining popularity here in the United States. And that can help reduce anxiety and make patients less aware of pain.
Or those who get here and they're going to deliver so quickly they won't have time for an epidural. Instead of just saying to those patients, good luck, we're able to actually give them something.
Mercy says it's best to have those conversations with your doctor when it comes to your birthing plan and what options are available to you as a patient.
Well, hundreds of CDC staff who were laid off as the weekend began have been reinstated, according to the American Federation of Government Employees. On Friday night, about 1,300 workers received layoff notices, but 700 were brought back the next day. An HHS official says the erroneous notices were caused by a coding error. President Trump said Friday he planned to fire a lot of federal workers amid the government shutdown, a move now being challenged in court. New research shows humans are living longer, but young adults are facing a growing health crisis. A study from the University of Washington says life expectancy in 2023 returned to pre-pandemic levels, about 76 years for women and 71 for men. The top global killers were heart disease and stroke, with half of all illnesses considered preventable. But researchers found more deaths among 20 to 39-year-olds in high-income countries, mostly from suicide, drug overdoses, and alcohol. The study urges policymakers to focus more on adolescent and young adult health. President Trump received his flu shot and COVID booster during a checkup at Walter Reed on Friday. His doctor said the vaccines were given ahead of upcoming international travel and that Trump, quote, continues to demonstrate excellent overall health. The doctor also claimed his cardiac age is 14 years younger than his 79 years, but didn't provide evidence. Trump called the visit a semi-annual exam, even though he had his annual physical in April. The White House says bruising on his right hand is from handshakes and aspirin use. Lindsay is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, pumpkins are flying off the hay bales, but rain is on the way, and for one family farm, it's a race against the clock to get the harvest in.
We've had some pretty warm temperatures today. We got up to 85. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our planner for tomorrow. We have rain chances. We also have a bit of a cooler day with a high of only 76, maybe 77. That's because of the rain that we're going to see. By 8 a.m., 40%, 10 a.m., about 50%. By noon, those rain chances start to dwindle. We're back down to about 30%. So you can see where our spike is up to even 60% early morning hours. So we're looking between the hours of 4 a.m. to about 10 a.m. where we're going to see the most rainfall for our central counties, and it does start to taper off by late afternoon. Now, currently looking pretty good. Taking a look at downtown Joplin from the Corona Arts and Entertainment Complex. Winds are picking up a bit, but overall a pretty calm night until all that rain starts to push in. Right now, we're just getting some cloudy skies. Temperatures in the mid 70s. Those are going to slowly start to drop, and as the rain moves in, it will start to cool us off by Monday morning. So here we are. We already have a few showers just north of Nevada, but the bulk of the rain heading into our western counties right now. Independence might be getting some showers. Chanute's up on deck. Same with Yates Center. All of these showers are going to continue to push in late tonight. And again, starting by 3 to 4 a.m. is where the bulk of our central counties are getting those showers. Parsons, Columbus, Oswego, even to Pittsburgh, out to Nevada. Joplin is just right on the cusp of some heavier showers. This is by 3 a.m. And then Miami down to Veneta, some heavier rain, maybe even some rumbles of thunder late tonight. All right, by 6 a.m., Joplin is going to get some moderate showers up to Lamar and then out to the Stockton area and then out just also to the east of Joplin. Most of these showers do continue to pick up through that morning to mid-morning range. Joplin again, Miami out to Columbus and Oswego by 8 a.m. So when you're planning on making your commute by 8, 9 a.m., we're going to be matched with some moderate showers, not too heavy, not too light. Then as we're heading to the afternoon, a lot of this starts to die down quite a bit. By 3:34, heading home for the day, most of this may be getting some drizzle where you need your wiper blades on every couple of minutes. But a lot of us, Nevada out to Pittsburgh, overcast skies, south of I-44, a couple of drizzles again. Most of this continues to die down through Monday night and into Tuesday morning. We could see still a couple of isolated showers by early Tuesday. Accumulation, though, isn't going to be a ton across the board. Joplin and Miami, maybe a quarter of an inch. The rest of us, Lamar, Pittsburgh, Coffeyville, less than a tenth of an inch of rain accumulation. Now, temperatures on Monday, like I said, are going to be a few degrees cooler just because of the overcast and the rain. 75 Joplin, 77 in Baxter Springs, 74 in Chanute, 71 out there in Yates Center. Still pretty warm down there, Grove 79, 80 in Bella Vista. So we are seeing some warm temperatures still on Monday for the southern part of our viewing area, though warmer temperatures continue Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, still in the 80s. We're not dropping back down into the 70s until our second front this weekend, and then we'll finally get some seasonable temperatures next week.
It's about time.
I know, I've been waiting for it.
I think we all have. Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, spiny lobster season is underway in San Diego, but a dropping price tag and global trade changes have local fishermen worried about the future of this iconic fishery. San Joaquin County, California is one of the nation's largest pumpkin producing regions, but upcoming rain has farmers concerned. Gabriel Porras has more.
At Lodi's Mora Produce, the pumpkins are flying off the hay bales.
I think this is one of our busiest years.
And back at the Mora family's farm, there are still rows left to harvest. Usually a good problem, but not this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a little hectic the next couple of days, yeah.
Rain is rolling into the forecast on Monday, meaning it will be all hands on deck through the weekend. Even the cousins are being called in.
My dad works, aside from this, he does work doing other things. So he did take the day off yesterday just to spend it picking nothing but pumpkins. The kids help out, like it's a whole family thing.
A family sprints before the skies open up, because once the rain starts falling,
we do tend to close for the day. Either the day of that it's raining and the following day. It's hard for us to go into the field when it does rain. It could get stuck, like the vehicle they used to go in gets stuck, so it's harder for us to bring them out.
And depending on where you are in the county, you have the heavier clay soils. It could easily be 3-4 days before you can get back in there.
Andrew Janaski with the San Joaquin Farm Bureau says the commercial gourd growers are also growing concerned.
Yeah, no, guys are working hot and heavy trying to get things done before the rain as much as possible. We have some large growers here in the county that ship all over the state and all over the country, and they have that brief window. Anytime between October 31st, those pumpkins are really necessary, right? You get months past October 31st, so not a whole lot of use for them.
I think my dad is mostly feeling stressed.
A harvest hustle, now a race against the rain.
I think this whole weekend is going to be a whole lot of pressure, yeah.
President Trump says he'll impose an additional 100% tariff on Chinese exports to the U.S. on top of the current 30% in a True Social post on Friday. Trump said the new tariffs will take effect November 1st or sooner. He also announced export controls on critical software retaliating against China's restrictions on rare earth minerals used in electronics. The move marks a major escalation after months of trade peace, though Trump says his planned meeting with China's leader will still go on. In San Diego, California, it's one of the toughest seasons in years for spiny lobster fishermen. Wholesale prices have crashed to a near record low, and as Abby Black reports, that's a threat to a valuable fishery in the state's economy.
Fishmonger Tommy Gomes shows us the latest spiny lobster catch on his dock in Point Loma.
Spiny lobster season here in San Diego. It's game on right now.
Gomes, a former fisherman, owns Tunaville Market and Groceries in Driscoll Wharf. He says the season opened late September and runs through March, but there's trouble beneath the surface.
Very good season. They were off to a great start. And unfortunately, the bottom fell out of the basket and the price dropped.
Last year, spiny lobster sold for $20 to $24 per pound. This year, $7 to $10. That's a devastating drop for California's third most economically valuable fishery. San Diego's a major hub, and when you factor in recreational fishing worth up to $40 million annually statewide, the ripple effects hit hard.
The prices are lower this year because China was a big buyer of lobsters and they're just not buying this year. They've decided to buy from New Zealand and Australia, and so the price has plummeted.
Trade tariffs changing tastes in China and rocky international relations. Prices are now even lower than during the pandemic when China also stopped buying.
There's a lot of old-timers that are still out there each and every day plugging away.
Gomes, a fourth-generation Portuguese fisherman, buys from 5 lobster boats and honors last year's prices for his cruise.
Some of us are paying the fishermen a living wage. It costs a lot of money to get into the game of lobster fishing, the permits, fuel.
Lobsters are found 20 to 110 feet deep off the San Diego coast, and this is one of the most regulated fisheries, but Gomes worries about the industry's future.
We need more tackle boxes and less X boxes. We need youngsters coming up the line that want to make a living and want to feed America.
Coming up next, it's National Gumbo Day, a celebration of Louisiana's official cuisine, a favorite since the 18th century. Now that it's getting cooler, it's the perfect time to enjoy a hearty bowl of gumbo, if you like gumbo, that is. The heavily seasoned dish originated in southern Louisiana during the 18th century and is even the official cuisine of the state. Widespread popularity in the 1970s when it was added to the U.S. Senate's cafeteria in honor of Louisiana Senator Allen Ellender. It typically consists of meat or shellfish and what Cajun chefs consider the holy trinity of seasoned vegetables, which are celery, bell peppers, and onions. So celebrate with gumbo today. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, A woman faces detention despite having no criminal record, and her friends say the current immigration crackdown is making it nearly impossible to get out.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
The Trump administration's crackdown on immigration has led to people detained all across the U.S., but data from ICE reveals details behind those detained. It shows tens of thousands do not have criminal records. Rachel Hanley goes into the numbers and finds a friend of a person detained.
Mackenzie Lopez has known Lesbia Salgado Diaz for 4 years.
She's like a sister to me.
She met her not long after Salgado moved to the U.S. from Nicaragua. She didn't have legal status, but Salgado told us over the phone that she showed up to all of her required ICE check-ins. Recently, she applied for asylum, was denied, then appealed the denial. The next time she went to an appointment, Lopez says she didn't come back.
I told her to memorize a phone number just in case. So she memorized mine and she called me while she was in the appointment and to let me know that she was being arrested.
That was almost a month ago. Her case has become one of many that may be playing out very differently under the current immigration crackdown. ICE publishes data on the people that it arrests, detains, and deports. These dashboards are updated each quarter. The blue represents people with criminal convictions on their record, the gray represents those with pending criminal charges, and the orange represents people who are only facing immigration violations. Immigration attorney Michael Gahagan explained that, legally speaking, those violations aren't considered criminal. They're considered administrative.
You have civil law where you sue somebody for rear-ending your car. You have criminal law where they broke the law and they go to jail for punishment. And they have administrative law in the middle where you have to apply for a green card to stay here, or we can remove you from the country.
ICE's New Orleans region includes most of the Southeast. The data shows that in the first quarter of 2025, most of the people ICE detained in the New Orleans region did not have any criminal convictions. About 3,500 only had immigration violations. About 2,500 had criminal convictions or pending charges. Those numbers were almost identical in the last quarter of 2024. Gahagan says that what's changed under the Trump administration is how long people are being detained for. Salgado says that she doesn't have a criminal record. Gahagan suspects that if that's true, until recently, Salgado would have easily been able to bond out.
It's almost impossible to get bond now. If the judges do give you bond, it's a very high amount. Years ago, you would get routinely $1,500 bonds.
As of now, Salgado is still being held at South Louisiana ICE processing facility in Basile.
I try to go weekly or every 2 weeks to go see her, and now I have another friend that's there, and it's very sad to me.
Lopez says that Salgado has expressed hope repeatedly that she'll be sent back to Nicaragua rather than stay there any longer.
A federal appeals court is weighing in on the deployment of National Guard troops in Illinois on Saturday. The court ruled the Guard troops can remain under federal control but cannot be deployed while the appeals process plays out in the courts. A lower court judge had initially issued a temporary restraining order blocking the deployment of troops for 2 weeks, but the appeals court did not go that far in its ruling and said the troops do not need to return to their home states until the court orders them to do so. The city of Chicago and the state of Illinois have sued to block the Trump deployment, and the Trump administration is appealing the lower court's ruling. As the government shutdown drags on, military families are feeling the impact in very real ways. Charles Malino reports on how some service members are struggling to make ends meet and why many say they're losing patience with Washington.
We've come a couple times before, but we haven't felt the actual need to come until the government shut down.
The Armed Services YMCA food pantry at Fort Hood was already familiar for Medalia de Gregorio and her Army soldier husband. Now, with a shutdown hanging over their heads, they face uncertainty deep enough to make them wonder about their future.
It's very stressful when us thinking about having kids and stuff like that, like if we're even going to be able to afford it.
When you're thinking about you might also lose a paycheck on top of already living paycheck to paycheck, sometimes not even making it to paycheck without needing help, you can imagine the anxiety.
The pantry has been stocked up with food supplies, including vegetables, milk, eggs, and meat. But last week, the number of service members coming out to get some went up by an all-time record of 34%. All the food ran out by mid-morning, and this week, demand is expected to be higher still.
I was a single parent in the military, so I know how it is. And you got to feed your family.
Yeah.
This time, troops and families lined up out the door, grateful for the help and frustrated with lawmakers in Washington.
They're all acting like trying to blame each other when it's an easy solution to just have a conversation and not act like toddlers and shut the government down.
The Armed Forces Y wants service members to know this kind of support is there.
This isn't our first rodeo. We've been through pandemics and plane crashes and other forms. We'll get through this as a military family.
Coming up later, Scrapple takes center stage in Philadelphia, but not for eating. Artists are carving it to create into creative masterpieces, and the results are unexpected.
We've had some warm temperatures today, luckily for us. It's all coming to an end with some rain as we head into Monday night. Let's go ahead and take a look at our planner for tomorrow. Temperature is only hitting about 76 on Monday. We get those scattered shower chances throughout the morning, early afternoon as well. By 8 a.m. we're at this 50% mark. 10 a.m. a little lower, dwindling a little bit with that 40%, and that continues into the early afternoon. So our main window to get the most amount of rainfall is going to be early morning after about 4 a.m. until about 10 a.m. So mid-morning. After that dwindles and we start to see those rain chances tapering off. Now, taking a look at Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin, winds are picking up. We have clouds moving in as well. Most of us are still staying dry right now. You can see a little bit of rain out there near Nevada. Bulk of these showers still just now moving out of Wichita, moving into our area. We've got a cold front draped. You can see where that gust front is from that front. You can look at the wind shift line as well. So we're getting some cooler air in there just for Monday. Wind shift pretty quickly after Monday. We're back to warmer temperatures by Tuesday. But let's look at our future track. So by 3 a.m. on Monday, Miami down to Veneta, getting some heavier rain, maybe even some rumbles of thunder, all the way up to just along the Kansas and Missouri border, Parsons, Oswego, even to Pittsburgh. So early morning. By 6 a.m., 7 a.m., a lot of us are starting to see the showers kind of pushing over to the Missouri side. Joplin's getting some rain all the way up to Carl Junction, out to Lamar, and then moving over to the Stockton area as well. Moving into 8 a.m., we're starting to head out the door, make our morning commute to work or to school. We're still seeing those light to moderate showers. The Joplin area, those extend into very far southeastern Kansas, even Seneca, Missouri, Miami, all the way down to Columbus, Oswego. So this is 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Similar all the way through noon, just these light to moderate showers there in our central counties, starting to die down by early afternoon. Couple more isolated shower chances through our western borders Monday night and into Tuesday morning, though most of us will stay dry after that. Rain accumulation isn't a ton for all of us. Miami, Joplin area, even near Seneca, could see about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch of rain. The rest of us only down to 1/10 of an inch, not a ton. Now, like I said, those wind shift line, that cold front moving in, really only helps us out on Monday. Temperatures are going to be in the mid 70s in Joplin, Carthage, Lamar, lower 70s up there, Yates Center, Fredonia, upper 70s, Veneta, Grove, and Bella Vista, 80 degrees. So we're still seeing some pretty warm temperatures, even on Monday, especially in the southern counties, well above average. Back into the 80s by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then again we get a cold front Saturday. That's going to drop our temperatures more consistently down in the lower 70s, closer to average.
It's going to be interesting having to wear a jacket again.
Interesting. I'm excited. I'm ready to break out my winter sweaters.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. Thanks, Lindsay. Well, Pitt State won their 5th consecutive game in a row yesterday, defeating Washburn in their homecoming matchup. And there were a lot of takeaways and highlights from their big win. Sports Director Ryan Blank will recap all that when we return. The Pitt State Gorillas entered Saturday's homecoming matchup against Washburn on a 4-game winning streak, and that streak continues with a big win over the Ichabods. Sports Director Ryan Blank recaps the Gorillas' big win.
The Pitt State Gorillas continue their winning ways with a dominant victory over Washburn on homecoming Saturday. Let's recap the action from the jungle. Defensively, the Gorillas' defense set the tone once again, proving to be a nightmare for the Ichabods' offense. holding Washburn to only 170 total yards and a mere 26 yards rushing on the day.
After last week, we knew as specifically linebackers we had to step up. Wasn't the greatest game, and we let them get too many yards, on the ground. So we took this week to prepare and really focus on stopping the run. Because when we stop the run, then we can stop the pass because we have the best DBs in the country. It's that front seven that gets everything rolling. We get our DBs in the right position. We get us ready. We just stop the run, and they can't do anything against it.
Our defense is phenomenal, and they're just coming out hungry, and they just want to prove who they are each week, each play. They're all just hungry, and they're all dogs. I'm glad we get to play against it in practice every single day. So, because what they do is they take that same energy and enthusiasm and bring it on to us in practice, and we've got to match it or exceed it each day. And so it's just going to eventually help us be the best we can be. So couldn't say enough great things about that defense. We're going to keep leaning on them. Just gives us confidence to go play comfortable and confident.
On offense, Pitt State was without one of their leading rushers in Cleo Chandler Jr., but that didn't stop the Gorillas' ground game from totaling 260 yards, led by Zamari Pelode-Gary's 159 rushing yards.
Great job by the O-line, blocking first and foremost. Great job by those running backs to stepping up. I think Zamari, he's the guy that we just keep talking about each week, and I just keep saying, man, he's going to get more and more comfortable. The more he's in our offense, the more reps he's getting, and I think you're really seeing that over the last couple weeks. Finally comfortable, finally knows what he's doing, and is doing a great job.
I know we have a great room of running backs, and they came in there and did their thing today, ran hard. Shout out to Z, shout out to Jacoby, DV, all those guys. Anybody who touched the ball today, they did their thing.
Another offensive key for PSU was quarterback Jackson Berry, who finished with 3 total touchdowns on the day, including a pair of rushing scores.
Just doing what I needed to do to change the game, change the scoreboard. It was blocked up. That first one was blocked up great. Obviously only had to make one guy miss and then just finish in the end zone. And then on the second one, again, the design of it was actually just perfect. The way that they played it was perfect for me pulling it and then just finishing the end zone. I just want to do whatever I can for the city to help us win.
He's incredible as a person, he's incredible as a leader, and he's an incredible football player. And we knew we were getting a good football player. You're just seeing him over the last couple weeks finally getting comfortable in the offense, and that just goes back to the type of player he is and just the ultimate competitor. He's going to do whatever it takes to win football games, and he's going to do whatever it takes to help the offense and to help this football team. And man, when you got a kid like that who's willing to put his body on the line, to help the football team win games, pretty cool to see as a coach.
Highlighting a couple of plays from the game, with 16 seconds left in the first half, the Gorillas could have taken a knee and went into halftime, but they got aggressive, and it paid off with a 73-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Travis to make it a 3-score game at the break.
We went out there on that first play and had a combination. They ran it too high, playing cover 2, and I had missed it the drive before that. Two plays, actually. They're too high cover 2, and just executed on that play, and our receiver did the rest. So
I told KB, I was like, man, let's try to at least get in field goal range. 16 seconds. Felt like we could attack the sideline a little bit and maybe get Austin in a position, to try a long field goal. And they called a great play and executed it, at a really, really high level, and that was huge. Scoring that touchdown right before going into halftime when we were getting the ball coming out of the second half.
Another play came in the fourth quarter when Pitt State lined up for a field goal with Austin Schmidt, but faked it with the junior kicker scoring his first ever touchdown at any level of football.
It's probably been 3 to 4 weeks now, and each week I've been waiting for the opportunity. I didn't think it would ever come because, who lets the kicker have the ball? But appreciate Coach Ann for giving me the chance, and I was not ready for it, but it worked out.
It's something we've been working on. Guys have been executing in practice, and we got the look I think that we needed to get, on the previous field goal. So I wanted to go out there and, more put it on film than anything, just so people have to worry about preparing for it. But super proud of those guys and the way they executed it.
I was standing there because I'm mad that we didn't catch the fade right there and capitalize on what the defense just did for us. And then all of a sudden I see Schmitty in a little toss under the leg, catch, wheel, Schmitty running hard, so it was awesome.
The Gorillas are clicking on all cylinders with 5 straight wins and return to action next week on the road against Missouri Western. Reporting for KOAM Sports, I'm Ryan Blank.
That's it for sports. We're back with more news after the break. Well, Pennsylvania artists turned pork meat into a work of art. The Reading Terminal Market hosted its second annual Scrapple Sculpting Contest and crowned a winner for the best sculpture made from Scrapple breakfast meat.
We're here today to celebrate where food crosses over with creativity to create art.
Scrapple was traditionally the scraps from the pig. So that's how it originated, was a way to use the scraps from the pig.
Love Scrapple. Love Scrapple. It's
best breakfast.
We are here for the second annual Scrapple Carving Competition.
I'm from Pittsburgh. When I heard about the Scrapple Carving Competition, I thought, what a cool experience. I need to be there. I love Scrapple. I love Pennsylvania. This is my kind of thing. I need to be there.
I sculpted Scrapple last year. I'm not a big Scrapple eater, but I'm a big Scrapple sculptor.
I feel like Scrapple is a medium. The first thing that came to my mind was clay. I feel like I work with clay a lot. I really enjoy working with clay.
Something fun to do. I had a little bit of time to kill during the day. My kids are in school. I had an afternoon, figured I'd carve some meat, see what happens, you know.
If I show you guys, I got this last year.
I'm going with the local Philly Eagles theme. I'm gonna try and do the tush push out of meat. Thinking the mush push.
Pressure's on, but you still have halfway to go.
It can be pretty crumbly, but you are able to mold it.
Not ideal, but we're doing it. We're doing it.
You're never going to see an Amish person carving Scrapple, I'll tell you that. We prefer to eat it.
So today I just want to award Patrick Moser for having a level of ambition, pushing Scrapple to its absolute limit, and bringing something forward that we could not have imagined. So congratulations.
It does feel very characteristically Philly, and I love it. I love the chaos, the excitement of it, yes.
Up next, this weekend's box office saw some big names and big surprises. We've got the top 5 countdown after the break. Time to check the weekend box office. David Daniel has the early estimates for the top 5 films in theaters.
You're going to face challenges when you get out of here, but you can still do almost anything.
The inspirational drama Soul on Fire, based on a true story, opened in 5th place, taking in $3 million.
This is a dollhouse problem.
$3.4 million kept Gabby's Dollhouse the movie in 4th place.
This is the end of the line. Not for you.
One Battle After Another fell to 3rd place, adding $6.7 million to its total.
Police believe the roof man may still be in the area.
What the? Oh my God!
Roofman, starring Channing Tatum, debuted in 2nd place with $8 million, on the low end of expectations.
I would like you to meet Ares, the ultimate soldier.
Tron Ares has a few bugs to work out. The 3rd film in the action franchise opened on top, but made just $33.5 million, well below both its expected debut of $45 to $50 million and the debut of Tron Legacy in 2010. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's our time for tonight. We'll leave you with a look at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. From all of us here at KOAM, have a great night.